Next technique to address is going to help us release the thoracic spine, erector spinae. This can be used as a mobilization for the thoracic spine. I'm going to have another component to this series as well that's going to go over joint mobility. This kind of crosses the line in between the two. I find that 2 tennis balls taped together with athletic tape works quite well for this. It's inexpensive, travels well, and does a heck of a job. So let's go back down to the court here. We're not going to go over the cervical spine, but we are going to go ahead and address the proximal thoracic spine all the way down to the distal thoracic spine. And for the purpose of this video, I'm actually going to start the lower thoracic spine and then go up. So with this, we want the thoracic spine, the transverse processes, the spinous processes to go right into this open space between the tennis balls. And we're going to lie back down. And for many of us, I'm just going to move the mic back, for many of us, we can feel discomfort, pressure into these muscles. The thoracic spine musculature is typically rounded from that kyphotic position that we have today, that position of spinal flexion that we're stuck in, so that's eccentrically aggravated. So just lying here can help us release these tissues. Then we can roll and bring the ball closer or more proximal or more cephalic, if you want to think of it that way. And we can get a little bit different tissues, slide up a little bit further, and we can just hold here statically. In addition to holding here statically, we can go ahead and we can pick one leg up and curl upwards. What this is going to do, instead of bringing us into extension, it's going to flatten out the spine just a little bit and add even more pressure into this technique. If you're going to do this, deep diaphragmatic breaths to help release this tissue. Put down the other side. Make sure you do both sides because it's going to put slightly different pressure on either side of the thoracic spine. If you find a particularly difficult area, continue to breathe diaphragmatically until you feel a release. You might even feel a gentle mobilization of a rib or a vertebrae going back into place. Continue the upward progress. Flex the hip, flatten the spine. Now, I'm not actively flattening the spine. I'm letting gravity and the weight of my thigh do the work for me. And let it sink down into it. And I'm going to do both sides to equal off the pressure. The mobility version of this is starting in the same point, drawing in the abdominals and almost doing a sit-up. So if someone has poor thoracic spine mobility, doing the sit-up here can help to mobilize the thoracic spine and help potentially mobilize any ribs that are not in place. So I'm going to start out on the lower aspect of the thoracic spine, not on the lumbar spine. My abdominals are going to be in. Keep my chin aligned. I'm going to do a sit-up. Move up one segment, abs are in. Sit up. Now I can continue this process all the way up until I'm in the proximal aspect of the thoracic erectors. And for many people, if you just lay here with the tennis balls, from that mid-thoracic to upper thoracic, this is just going to feel wonderful for them. And the abs are going to come in, flex the spine and come up. If you're going to address this more proximal aspect of the thoracic spine, bring the arms up this way to maybe get a slight release of pectoralis minor, coming down to the side. You might feel some referral from aggravated thoracic erector spinae. I've talked about trigger points throughout this presentation. Feel free to change the position of your arms. Feel free to do some internal and external rotation as well. You'll be amazed at how much of a difference the tissue makes that we're addressing. We're also going over the middle trapezius and as well as the rhomboid complex as we get more proximal. And you still can go through that mobilization. Abs are in, chin is tucked. Come up like that. So that can be an area that I could stay on forever, and I could have really dragged that segment out because that felt wonderful for me. But we're addressing the aggravation, the overactivity, the lack of blood flow within the thoracic erectors. We're trying to bring some fresh, oxygenated, nutrient-rich blood. I'm going to stand up here just to help the camera follow me. We're bringing some fresh blood into the thoracic erectors. Oh, that feels good. I stand up. I feel a few inches taller now.